Let's do a quick overview of the Transactions tab within the Cardknox Merchant Portal. Here you'll see the last 7 days of transactions. Right now it's showing 20 results. I can change that by selecting different options here in the bottom left-hand corner. If I want to change the date range, right now it's set to last 7 days. If I go to the top left, I can either do by today, yesterday, this month, etc., last 90 days, or even a custom date range. If I want to filter these results, I can go to Filter. If I choose card number, I can do the last 4 digits, and I can even disable the date range to see even more results. There's also many other filtering options, including advanced. If I want to export these transactions, I can go to the right-hand side and export either the current view, which is the amount of results I have in my view, or all transactions as a CSV file. I can print these transactions as a PDF, or if I click on Settings, I see the available columns I can add to this view. Let's say I want to add card type. Done. And now you'll see the card type within this view. If I want to hide the details of this filter, I go up here to hide, and I can see a little bit larger view of my transactions. If I want to click into our particular transaction to learn more information, I'll see here that I can print the transaction receipt, email it, download it, or view the transaction receipt. On this particular transaction, I can void it, refund, partial or full, adjust the transaction, make a new transaction based on this saved data. There's also an expanded view, so I would enter the amount, either by credit card or check, and then I can click on expanded view to see even more on one screen. I can also create a new customer based on this information. If I want to make a new transaction from scratch, I go to New Transaction, enter the amount, etc. I can also do the same thing within the side panel by clicking on the New button. And that is the Transactions tab within a nutshell. Okay, let's take a look at quick reports within the Cardknox Merchant Portal. Here on the right, you'll see frequently used reports by other users. You can view or export these reports directly from the right-hand side. You'll also notice the custom saved report section. Right now, we don't have any custom reports saved, so let's generate one. On the left, we can select the date range. Let's do this month. If you sort by, let's do date, and by, let's do sale. That's transaction type, and we want to only approve transaction status. Also, there's additional filters. If we click on Add Filters, let's go by amount and enter the amount of $1,200 and scroll down, and you'll see that you can either save or view the report. Saving the report will keep it in this section on the right, this custom saved report section, but we could just view it if we want it for one-time use, as well as print and export. Let's save the report, 1200 report, and click Save. Now you'll see the report is located in the top right. From here, we can view, export, edit, or delete. If we click View, we'll see a view of all transactions that match this criteria. As you can see here, the filters are selected. Let's go back to Quick Reports and edit this report. From here, I'll click on the Edit button. And instead of sale, let's see if there's any refunds. So I can either save this as a new report and call it refund, or I can save over the current report. Let's create a new one. And now you'll see I have 2 custom reports here. If I decide to delete it, I just click on the Delete button. And that's it. And that's an overview of the quick reports section. Let's take a look at the gift report tab within the Cardknox merchant portal. This feature is available to merchants that are enrolled in the gift program. On the screen, you'll see a grid of all transactions involving gift cards. When it's gift issue, an amount has been issued. When it's gift redeem, the amount has been redeemed. On the top, we could sort by the last 90 days by default, but you can also sort by other date ranges. We can also search by gift card number. And you'll see the activity breakdown for the specific gift card. If I click on a specific transaction, I'll see more details based on this card. In order to see the remaining balance, I will need the gift card number and apply. This is exportable and printable. As well, the main grid is exportable and printable. There are many filtering features, such as by amount. I'll see all transactions that are less than $10. There are also some advanced filters as well. As well as amount, you can find things such as location for merchants that have multiple locations. You can see which location the gift card was used, as well as any custom fields. And that's a summary of the gift report tab. Let's take a look at the batches tab within the Cardknox merchant portal. Here you'll see we have closed batches and open batches. If we go to closed, we'll see yesterday's closed batches because of the date range selected. I can change that date range here. We can do a custom date range, or we can even select the last 7 days. Here you'll see a breakdown of the last 7 days, and within each one, I can click and see more details. I can also expand all by clicking here. Collapse. If we want to see a breakdown by card, we click here. You'll see the card type and the totals for each. We can also print and download as a CSV file. Also, for each individual batch, we can print or view batch. It will show the view for all transactions within this batch. Let's go back to batches. If we want to search for a specific batch number, we can do so here. 135, enter, and you'll see here. Let's undo our search. Also included in this tab is the batch summary. Based on the date range selected, I can see the total amounts for total, sales, and credit. Also the breakdown by card and the credit by card type as well. Now we'll see again the last 7 days of closed batches. And we can also, this whole entire view, print or export as a CSV file. Same thing goes with open batches. Although it's not advised, we can close the current batch here. And that's a summary of the Cardknox Merchant Portal's Batches tab. Here's an overview of the Customers tab within the Cardknox Merchant Portal. Here you'll see a grid view of all customers I've saved within my account. I can filter with the top left button or use inline filtering within the selected text boxes. For each customer, you'll notice quick options on the right. I can create a new transaction, send payment request, or delete customer. For new transaction, I simply click, enter an amount, and the credit card or check on file will be charged. I can also add and modify information as I need. Before I process, I can look in Expand View to see more information within one view. Also, I can send payment request. It will generate all information that I have on file for this customer and add it to the form. I can still add and modify as I need, before sending the payment link to the customer to request a payment. Let's hop back to the Customers tab. As I mentioned, you can also delete customer as needed right from here. If we click on a specific customer, I can modify information. I can change the payment method or add a new one for both credit card and check, as well as set default or remove card for each. For recurring schedule, currently this customer has 2 recurring schedules set up, one annually. If we click to expand here, we can deactivate the schedule, save as a template, or preview schedule, as well as remove. If we preview, we'll see upcoming payments within the schedule. I can always download and print as needed. If we want to create a new one, simply click Add Recurring Schedule, fill in the information. You can either send receipt and retry declining recurring with default card only. As well, I can look at transaction history for this customer. Let's click the X to close, and we'll go back to the view. On the top right, we can add a new customer, export the entire view, print, or settings, which show which available columns I have. I can either add or remove as needed. Let's say I want to add a mobile phone number, and I would save selection if I wanted to use this for next time. Let's add a new customer by clicking here. I'll fill in the customer's information. And if I wanted to see more, I can use Advanced View. We can also set up the payment method and recurring schedule directly from here. And that's an overview of the Customers tab within the Cardknox Merchant Portal. Let's take a look at the Recurring Schedules tab within the Cardknox Merchant Portal. Recurring Schedules is great for businesses that want to accept payments on a recurring basis, such as subscription services. Within the tab, you'll see a grid of all customers that currently have a subscription, aka recurring schedule. We can see their schedule name, customer number, date created, start date, etc. If I scroll by, you can see the status of the recurring payment, whether it was approved, errored, or declined. If I want to add additional fields, I go up to the gear icon and I can choose company, let's say end date. And if I want to save this for later use, I can click Save Selection, and next time I log in, the selected columns will be there. Additionally, we have quick options on the right, such as New Transaction, Send Payment Request, and Delete Schedule. If I do New Transaction, it pulls that customer's information, and I can create a new transaction easily with the information that already exists. If I click into a specific schedule, I'll get more information. Right now, this is for $1 every 1 day, and I can either add a recurring schedule, or for the existing one, I can deactivate, save as a template, or preview, as well as remove. From these details, I can also change the payment method, see general information about this customer, or transaction history. Let's close out of this. I can also create templates for my customers. Within templates, I can create a new schedule template, such as, let's say our product offers a tier 1 subscription for $20, and that happens every month. And I will call this tier 1 subscription. And we can choose how many number of payments. If we want indefinite, we'll just leave that field empty. We can also skip Sabbath and holidays and click Save. Now, if I go to the Customers tab and click on a specific customer, and I can go to Recurring Schedule. Let's add Recurring Schedule. And let's look for schedule name. I called it Tier 1. And there we go. All I have to do is save, and this recurring schedule will be applied to this customer. Keep in mind that if you edit a recurring schedule, it does not apply to the existing customers. Let's head back to the Recurring Schedules tab. And that concludes the Recurring Schedules tab within the Cardknox Merchant Portal. The Send Payment Request tab is a great way for you to request payments from your customers online. This feature is for accounts that have payment site currently set up. What is a payment site? It's a web page. When the user enters their billing information, check or credit card information, they can process payments directly to you. Now, to make it easier for your customer, you can pre-fill the transaction amount, billing information, and other options. So all they have to do is enter their credit card or check information to process payments. If we go back to the Send Payment Request tab, you'll see here, I can fill in these fields with the appropriate information. The amount, and I can allow the user to adjust the amount, especially for things such as donations. I've pre-filled the form with some sample billing information. For accounts with recurring schedules set up, you can also use this feature here. Every 1 month for 12 months. Also, if your payment site has custom payment site fields, you can modify them here. After you're done, you'll share this link with your customer. You can copy, view, or email directly. Let's view this payment site. As you can see, all of the information I filled in on the portal is here. All the customer has to do is enter their credit card information, say they're not a robot, and click Process Payment. The Send Payment Request is an easy way to accept payments online. Okay, now we're going to look at the settings within the Cardknox Merchant Portal. From here, you'll see it begins with Display Settings. Here you'll see the different accounts I have. If I want to set an alias for one, I could do so here. And I can also drag the order in which they display. I can sort alphabetically if I don't want to do a custom order. What I'm referring to is the accounts up here and how they're displayed. If I scroll down, I'll see time zone settings, default dashboard date range, first screen after login, other settings such as hide skip Sabbath and holidays checkbox in recurring schedule dialog box, expand new customer pop-up by default, and display open batches by default. When you make a change, be sure to click Save if you want to continue with those changes. Let's take a look at transaction settings. Here you'll see custom transaction fields and whether or not you want them to be required or visible. You can also add a custom display label to these particular fields. Billing information, same thing. What do you want displayed and what is required and not required? Transaction details, as well as custom fields. If you want additional custom fields, you could do so. And I believe you can add up to 20 at this moment. Other settings, expand new transaction pop-up by default, send the customer a receipt by default, send me a receipt by default, or allow user to process duplicate transactions. We could also set up a convenience fee, so I could do it as a percentage of the credit card. If I set it to 1, it will do so by default on every transaction, or I can allow the user to include or exclude the convenience fee. There's also some additional Cardknox Go settings here, such as Show Disputes tab or Include Split Pay Transactions. Let's look at recurring settings. Here you can see that you can email recurring daily summary report, and you can also create the schedule even if the initial payment fails. This is helpful to continue to create a schedule even if the initial payment fails. Also, what happens after the max number of entries are reached? We can either disable it or continue to the next interval. Let's look at report settings. Here we can change what shows up on a report, which columns are shown, and what order they're in, just simply by dragging. You can also reset to default if you would like. The same thing goes for dispute report, customer report, recurring report, and recurring templates report. Here's the users tab. If we want to add a new user to this account, I would simply enter their email, and I can choose their role. Admins have access to all permissions, including user management. Advanced users have access to all permissions except for user management. A standard user has access to process new transactions but can't adjust transaction. View only can only access reports, and save only can only run save commands. Once you created a user, you can email them to let them know that their account has been created, and then press create. And that sums up the Cardknox Merchant Portal settings.